has your style of prepping changed? Good morning, everybody. JT here, Serenity Farms Prepping. So what I mean by style, has your pattern, your methods, the way you prep, has that changed since, January 2024? Mine has. Now, the main objective for me, because I'd been prepping since 2008, I was pretty well stocked up. But a lot of the prepping items, some food especially, that I had prepped early in 2008, it's all about time start eating that stuff. So I got to look at resupplying those dehydrated and freeze-dried items that are good for 20 or 25 years. But luckily, I like almost all that type of long-term storage foods. They all are really, really carbohydrate, sugary dense, and I'm pre-contest at the moment, thinking about doing a bodybuilding show in August if everything doesn't go to hell in a handbasket. So they're not really in my meal plans. But that's an aside. But it also leads to where I want to take this prepping style method. 2008, I prepped my ass off. I was brand new to the movement, and I was scrambling. I thought as soon as Kenyan Trader Obama was in, we were done, and I had to make up for lost time. Ironically, time I didn't know that I had been losing, because I was conservative always, but I wasn't in tune like I should have been, like many weren't. And everybody has a trigger moment, something that get your ass in gear. And for me, it was Sotero. I just knew, just listening to him speak, so scripted, so intentionally methodical, so at a 7th grade level, which has been proven time and again to be, I don't know why, but the most predictable, the easiest way to get inside people's minds. Now, that could be a testament to how stupid people are, that they can only interpret what someone's saying if it's at a 7th grade level. But the way he spoke to me was a trigger. It was obviously, it just sounded stupid. It sounded so fake, so phony, so false. I knew right away. And then, the racism crap and all that other stupid shit he brought out. But anyway, so over the years, within a couple years of 2008, I realized that prepping for me, it wasn't a hobby. It wasn't something I'm going to do for 6 months, then say I'm all ready and be done. Now, it was a lifestyle, which means that I had to incorporate all the things that I was doing to prep around the compound, tools, building materials, all my outbuildings, my food, my water, everything. It had to fit as part of my regular, normal, everyday lifestyle, as well as always and continually being a prep. And I don't know that a lot of people can do that well enough. They're one extreme or the other. They have to prep and they lose focus of everything else that's equally important. And when you do that, like creating the friendships and the relationship base of people who think like you, still enjoying everything that you did before you decided you needed to become a prepper, whether it's sports. For me, it's my bodybuilding and golf, or going out to breweries or wineries, or having a lot of folks over to the compound. That stuff all has to remain a critical part of you. Your persona cannot change. You're adding getting prepared to your already existing lifestyle. Now, a lot of folks needed prepping and that trigger moment to wake them up and make them realize that the lifestyle that they were living wasn't really good. It wasn't good for them, it wasn't good for those around them, and it wasn't good for their longevity, regardless if there was a shit hit the fan moment or not. Many people simply are clueless and living lifestyles that are going to lead to an early demise. There isn't anything that we can do for a lot of these people. Cognitively, they're not reachable. If I could reach inside their brain and snap that little frontal lobe, the hypothalamus, and give them a wake up, maybe, but you can't. It's been destroyed, literally. If it wasn't from all the sugar and it was from a nasal butt swab or 2 or 10 that was intentionally designed to break that blood-brain barrier, and then the poison jabs, of course, go right up on in there. Plenty of room. So, part of changing your lifestyle, and I've had to do this, it wasn't easy. Some were very easy and some are a bit more difficult. Means eliminating certain people from your life, from your circle. Now, we all have some people that I know, hundreds of people. Over the last 30, 40 years in my community, I've been a coach of many different sports. I owned a gym, was on the school board, the bodybuilding circle, everything. A lot of people know me. I don't know everyone by name. It's easier for them all to remember one name, JK, than it is for me to remember the hundreds, thousands of people that I know. That doesn't mean that I'm friends with all of them. I'm friendly. I had to be sociable to a lot of other parents that had daughters on the same teams as mine, the school board, and even though I knew clearly they were on the complete opposite end of the ideological spectrum as I was. So when my daughters got out of high school several years ago, it was very easy to sever those ties because they really weren't ties to begin with. I was never friends with those people. I was just friendly, sociable when needed, minimum amount stated. That was it. We didn't hang out after, besides seasonal games and stuff like that. So those were the easy ones. And then over the last few years, many of my rantings on Meta and other social media sites and videos on Rumble and CommieTube have had a way of eliminating a lot of people from my life by their choice, simply because I'm stating my opinion. Much of it, hopefully all of it, based on fact, evidence, and proof, not just to rant. But those folks decided, based on their ideological, tolerant views, that I didn't need to be part of their life. So that was easy. And then there's some that I have eliminated because we've had discussions that were not going to end well, and it's just the way it is. Now, I have some very close friends that are in my circle. I love them like family. We do a lot together often. They're clueless. Like I'm sure many of you have. They laugh and joke about the compound, and I know where I'm going when the world ends and all that stuff. And I look at them with a smile and ask if they are allergic to lead. And they look at me quizzically, like the MAGAcons looking at Trump, and ask, you would shoot me if I come up here? And I look at them and say, don't put me in that position. I have known you for years, and I have hinted, I have suggested, I have begged a little. Do something to get prepared. If you think you're going to come up here, bring some totes of clothes and start buying some food to store up here, because I can't and will not feed you all. And nobody ever gets back to me on that and asks, really? What do you think I need? What should I do? Blah, 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 blah. So, those are what they are. And that's how that is going. But lifestyles. Prepping is part of my everyday life. Literally everything I do has a prepping angle. Got a break. Okay, I'm back. So, for example, let's take gardening. Okay, I always had a little tiny garden. We'd grow, some lettuce and tomatoes and peppers, and it was just to have some fresh stuff, but more kind of like just to say, yeah, I got a garden. I'm growing some stuff I throw on salads, but not that much more. So when I got into prepping, that maybe 10 by 10 garden morphed into 5 greenhouses, 4 20-footers and 1 32-footer with double plastic blowers, fans, and a 30,000 BTU home furnace in it. Because now I grow anything and everything I can. I dehydrate, I freeze. So, but I have always enjoyed gardening, and now that's part of my lifestyle. I'm just doing it on a much larger scale. Okay, so I always had a couple, because I've always lived in the country, I've always been a hunter, and I've always done outdoor stuff. Well, since I became a prepper, that increased as well, because there is the right tool for every job. So, and all those tools need additional equipment. So, you've got to store that. So, let's take my man cave. Took an Amish building, insulated it, ran electric, regular, all solar, got a pellet stove in there. It's my home theater system. Redneck septic out back. I got a shower, an RV toilet installed, kitchen sink, fridge. It's a little house. But I did what I did because I knew eventually someone was going to be staying in that at some point for an undetermined amount of time. The COVIDian cultist scam. They kicked us out of the gym where I had gone for many years. I was driving 25 minutes to work out for 45 to drive 25 back. Add that up over a few years. Now, granted, I had owned my own gym, so at that point of my career, I was driving there because I was working, so I could work out, blah, blah. That was a little different. But after that, when they kicked us out, I said, you know what? I'm going to build a building for myself. I still had leftover equipment from my gym business. I incorporated that. Now I don't travel anywhere. I walk 100 yards down to my gym, do my thing, walk back. It's always right there. And it is also off-grid with a little tiny old pellet stove and a few solar panels to run it. Okay, so my outdoor decks and gazebo and cooking area are way bigger than the average person because I know at some point those are all going to be utilized on a regular basis when the SHTF happens. And all the friends come up and they love it, but they don't realize what I'm doing, and it's okay. I know what I'm doing, but everything everything I do is part of my lifestyle. And and it doesn't control my lifestyle. It enhances it. It does not stop me from doing anything that I want to do to enjoy. At the same time, always in my mind, always what I see, there's ways that I'm trying to improve or add that don't make everything I do incognito per se, but they're adding to the prepping lifestyle without the average NPC knowing that they're part of a prepping lifestyle. You get where I'm going with that? Okay. That's all I got for now. Jake T, signing out.